Sound off like you've got a pair, and welcome back to the channel and Kerbal Space Program. In this episode, we have already put into orbit around Mun and Minmus relay communication satellites. Now, I did not record those because really to get them up there is very simple. It just takes orbital adjustments, setting up maneuver nodes. They're very easy to get up. Uh, there's no need to get them home, so you don't have to take as much fuel, nor do you have to concern yourself with fuel economy on the way there. You just want to concern yourself with fuel economy on the way there so that you don't run out of fuel before you get there. But they've got plenty of fuel to get where they need to go. Both of those craft are going to be in the description below. Our Minmus satellite, we brought along some scientific gear because we had never actually been here, and we've already transmitted data back to the Space Center. Let's return to the Space Center, and we'll take a gander at our Mun satellite. They're both communication satellites so that they can relay information when we send probes or manned missions. Let's check out our Mun satellite. But we are going to, where is she? There she is. There's our Mun satellite. Our Mun satellite is very basic. There is no science gear on it since we've already done science around the Mun. They're both in orbits that should allow us to transmit data from the dark side fairly easy. But we have gathered up from our Minmus satellite, we gathered up a good amount of science. We're sitting at 137.7, and what we're going to do is we're going to research the advanced construction so that we can get the Airstream protective shell, and we are going to attempt to launch a unmanned land probe to Minmus to gather the surface science. I believe it's temperature readings that we need to gather. Let's scroll down. But we are going to send an unmanned probe to Minmus, land, drive it around, temperature, collect the temperature science at the different, at the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and epsilon sites, and hopefully that gives us a ton of science. We're also going to bring along a couple other science gadgets so that we could just collect a good amount of science while we're there. But let's get to building this craft and then flying it. Alright, we're finished building our Minmus probe Mark 1. We've tested it a couple of times to see which areas need work on and how well this flies. This flies actually very well. It will get us to Minmus no problems. We've got our Rover up in the shroud, which we just recently unlocked. We have plenty of solar panels on the Rover, and we've got solar panels on the main rocket assembly in order to continuously generate electricity on our trip there. Now, when you launch this thing, you're going to want to control it from the Probedyne Octo that's in the main assembly, and not utilize the one that's on the Rover. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to the launch pad so I can demonstrate that. Alright, if you notice, the nav wheel has got us looking all goofy like. It's very difficult to fly this thing and know which direction you're actually going when you are controlling the vessel from the Rover. So what you're going to want to do is select the Probedyne Octo, right click on it, and make sure the control point is default, and then select control from here. And that gives you the oh, we're losing electricity. That gives you the proper controls in order to get this thing flying properly. What we're going to do is we're going to turn our SAS on. We're going to throttle up to about 1/3, since the solid stage boosters actually do a very good job of getting us up into up out of the lower atmosphere. Now I'm gonna edit out 90% of this flight because it's it's the same old. It's just doing orbital maneuvers and transits. I'm gonna leave in the bits where I do maneuvers to get to Minmus, since getting to Minmus is different than getting to the Mun. The Mun is on a flat plane. As long as you bank 90 degrees, you're going to make it to Minmus. From the launch pad, you bank 90 degrees, you're going to make it to Minmus. You're going to make it to Mun. My apologies. Minmus is different. It's on it's got a very angular orbit, and it's got and its apoapsis and periapsis are vastly different. It's not circular. So you're going to want to approach Minmus from a different point, and you're also going to want to change the angle of your orbit once you're in orbit. And I'm going to demonstrate those for you. So we're going to lift off. I'm going to bank this over about 10 degrees from the launch pad. And I will see you when we are ready to do our orbital adjustments. Okay, we are up in orbit. We are apoapsis 91,500, periapsis 88,800. We are going to select Minmus, set that as our target, and you're going to see that we have our ascending nodes and descending nodes are at about 6 degrees off. What we're going to do is we're going to set a maneuver at our ascending node, since that's the closest one, and we're going to adjust this until those nodes read just about 0. There we go. I'm going to move our craft over to our move marker. And then we are going to warp to next maneuver. It's about a 5-second burn at max thrust. We're not going to do it at max. We're going to do it slowly so that we don't overburn. And we can stay right on the marker. And this is going to put us into the same orbital plane that Minmus is in. It's also going to increase our apoapsis and periapsis some. That is fine. We need that altitude. 2.5 meters a second left on that burn. 2 meters a second. Let's see what's our... we're about on target. Let's exit that. Yeah, we're 0.9 degrees off. We're going to add another maneuver just to continue to fine-tune this, because it's never perfect. Well, I won't say it's never perfect. It's often not perfect. But we're gonna get this as close to 0. I'm wanting like at worst I'm wanting 0.2 degrees. But if we can get 0.1 degrees, if we could get 0 degrees, that'd be excellent. But, you know, anything from 0.2 degrees or lower, we can work with. We're going to get this fine-tuned in. And then we're going to create an encounter with Minmus. There we go. There we go, 0.1 degrees, that's fine. Now, ascending node, descending node. We're going to make another maneuver. Let's see. We're going to make a maneuver. It doesn't matter where we put it because we can move the maneuver around. We're going to add a maneuver and we're just going to burn all the way out. Prograde. Till we have a Minmus encounter. We want to get that periapsis down because we want to land on Minmus. See, maybe we can adjust that. That looks like a really good encounter right there. Not too much of a burn. It gives us a good periapsis with an arch. So that should be easy to adjust down into an orbit. The node is in 30 minutes approximately, so we could time warp to it. Oh, wait, we want to get our maneuver. We want to get our nose pointed towards our maneuver node. Keeping an eye on that electricity. I may have to remove the shroud now in order to get those extra solar panels exposed. Doesn't look like it. Look like we're doing good. As a matter of fact, I am going to remove the shroud now so that we can expose our antennas. Deploy our shroud. Oh, pops our shroud off violently. We want that antenna exposed so that we can continue to control our vessel once it gets further away from Kerbal. It would suck to get all the way to Minmus and then not be able to control our rover. Get us pointing at our maneuver node and then warp to our next maneuver. Alright, we're at our maneuver node. We're going to burn prograde, essentially. I'm going to stay right on our maneuver node. We're probably going to run out of fuel on those stages. Yep, let's get rid of those and get rid of those. Got a few seconds left on our burn. We don't want to overburn. We've got our encounter now. We're gonna increase that a little bit, just so we can get that periapsis down. Anything to get us closer in is fine by me. That looks good. Now we're going to oh no, that's Mun! What are we doing? That's not what we want. We did not want the Mun. Why was I... Nobody warned me. Nobody warned me. Son of a monkey. Alright, we're going to make some adjustments here. And head towards Minmus. Instead, we don't want a Mun encounter. We're going to fix this this maneuver. All right, that looks like the best maneuver we're going to be able to get. Hopefully, we have enough fuel for this. I cannot believe that we made a error like that, and we tried to make an encounter with Mun instead of Minmus. That is why we brought all of that extra fuel. That way we can do these maneuvers as necessary. Alright, we've got the encounter. Let's see, let's focus our view. See what that looks like. Alright, that's not terrible. That is not terrible. Let's add our maneuver there and bring us down to something reasonable. Bring our periapsis down. We want it pretty low. Alright, 10,000's good. Alright, we are going to time warp our way there. and then do the rest of the maneuvers we need to do in order to get us down on the surface of Minmus safely. Alright, we are on our way down. We still have connection to our... we still have connection to Kerbal, which is good. We are going to time warp, because we want to get this as close as humanly possible before we actually start the landing process, because we are... oh, we're on the dark side. We're really low on fuel. We have no lights. Okay, we need to change how we fly this. We're very low on fuel. So this is really scary. We could just bring her in gently. That's all I care about. Minmus does not have much gravity. We may actually, because we don't need to get this home. We just need to get this down. I just don't know how close we are to the surface. We have no actual readouts. We continue to burn off speed as we approach. As long as I don't hear explosions, I'm good. Come on, just touch down. Please. So close. So close I could taste it. And we're gonna have to do like a massive last minute burn. And then hope that we don't crash. Alright, we are down. We are down. That was pretty intense. We have no lights on board. So yeah, gear doesn't matter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna time warp. We're gonna time warp until it is daytime. So this may take us a second. We have got a damaged wheel. That is no good. Let us turn our brakes off. We're gonna turn our reactionary wheel off. And we are going to try to drive this rover around. Even though we have 2 damaged wheels, we're going to actually enable steering on these guys. And disable steering on these guys, since there are busted wheels. Just try to make it up this hill. And we've got to, yeah, this is going to be fun. We've got to drive our way to to our science location. This could take us a while. The gravity is so bad on Minmus. We're just gonna wheelie all the way there. Alright guys, we are back at the Space Center now. We did not complete that contract quite yet with our damaged wheels, and now realizing that the gravity on Minmus is so low that those little probes are kind of terrible. We did gather some science. We gathered some barometric pressure readings, and we gathered some temperature readings and transmitted that back home. Our rover is still generating electricity. It's still in communication, so it's not a total failure. We did get the milestone of landing on the surface of Minmus, which got us some science and some money. So we're not broke. And we did get some science. Let me see. We've got enough. No, we only have 140. We need 160. 160. What we really want is this precision propulsion. Either the precision propulsion or advanced electronics, one or the other. Maybe precision engineering. I don't know. I haven't really put too much thought into that. We've got other contracts to do the VIP trips. We are going to complete some of those just to get them out of the way, as well as to unlock more things from Mission Control. This isn't a complete failure. We do have a probe on Minmus. Let's get rid of that debris too. We've got a probe on Minmus. It's not in the best of condition, but it happens. Is that our probe, or is that our probe? There's our probe. We want that stuff. Terminate. Yes. Yeah. That's a lot of debris. That's our broken bits from our landing. Excellent. It doesn't look as terrible. So yeah, it wasn't a total success, wasn't a total failure, but these things happen in KSP. We've got our communication satellites up. We have a probe on Minmus. It's not in the greatest condition, but you know. Not every landing can be perfect. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Be sure to check out the Project Zomboid Survivor Chronicle series. We've done episode 13. Episode 14 should be coming out real soon. As always, links are in the description to all of our vessels. And I will see you in the next episode. This is PFC Havok, signing off.